Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For anybody who was new here, my name is Oksana Lawrence, and today I'm going to be showing you guys this look right here. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, please continue watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you are just randomly watching somewhere. And yeah, I think this look turned out pretty good. At first I was a little bit nervous because I tried like a brighter under eye. I don't know if you guys can tell. But yeah, so if you want to see how I got this look, just continue watching. So this is the look that I'm going to recreate on myself. I feel like there are certain things that I could have did a lot better when I was doing this look, but yeah, so I'm gonna recreate this look for you guys. So I always start off with my eyebrows first, and right now I am brushing my eyebrow hairs up. I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil. I'm using the brow definer, like the brush part, to brush my hairs up. But yeah, so here I am using my soap brow. This is from Revolution, and I use this to brush my hairs up as well. This is to hold my eyebrow hairs in place. I really like the natural looking eyebrows, so I do this to help hold my hairs in place, and also it helps me to know where to place my like which parts of my eyebrow needs the most shading. So I always start shading at the tip of my brows, at the end part, because like I said, I like for it to look natural. I don't shade it in too much at the tips, and I just start off at the back part, and then I just slowly start to fill it in as I go. But I'm going pretty fast right here, but I just go the normal pace for me because I've been doing my eyebrows for such a long time, so I know like how much to fill in and how much to not, if that makes sense. So here I'm doing my other eyebrow, and anything that you do to one side, you have to do it to the other side. That's just the way it goes with makeup. And yeah, so I'm starting at the tip of my brow and filling it in slowly as I go. I always start at the back, like I said, because I want it to look as natural as possible. And for me, I don't really have that much eyebrow hair at the tip part or at the end parts of my brow. The front of my brows have the most hair, so I don't really fill it in as much, as you can see. I just lightly stroke it. Like I lightly brush, or I lightly draw the hairs in the front, sorry. And yeah, so then I just brush it up. Right now, I'm just making sure it looks the way that I want it to. You're going to see me like continuously look up just to see, but that's just me making sure that, they look good to me before I start concealing underneath my eyebrows, because that's just the way I am. So I'm just adding some finishing touches. And like I said before, I don't know if I said this, but I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil. This is not the one that's the brow definer. This one is called, let me see if I can find it. This one is the Brow Wiz, and I'm using it in the shade dark brown. So yeah. And I tried to show you guys earlier, but for some reason my camera just acts so weird when it comes to autofocus. But yeah, so I'm still shading it in. I saw at the I saw that the tip, not the tip part, but the top part of the brow wasn't matching. And I know that they say that eyebrows are supposed to be sisters, but I try to get them to look very, very similar. So that's just me. Some people don't really care about that, but I want my eyebrows to look similar. For some reason, it just throws me off. But this is me putting the concealer underneath my eyebrows. I use the same concealer that I use for my face, like to highlight and stuff. That's the same one that I use for my eyebrows. And I am using Born This Way by Too Faced. It's in the shade Maple. And this is going to be the concealer that I use to shape my brows. And also, I'm going to be using it as like the base for my eyeshadow. And then, yeah, so right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm also making sure that I pull my concealer down into my eyelid because I don't want any like harsh lines when I am going to blend anything out, or when I'm finishing up, I don't want it to look harsh underneath my eyebrow. So pulling it down and blending it into my eyelid is what I always do. And I use a fluffy brush to do so. I forget the name of the company that I got these brushes from, but they're very popular brushes. I feel like a lot of people have them. I just cannot think of the name of them right now off the top of my head. But right now you just see me making sure that I'm blending the concealer out underneath my eyebrows, just so it'll look, seamless type of thing. No harsh lines. You don't want any harsh lines when you're doing your makeup. Make sure you're blending it out. And yeah, you guys, this is me still. Every time I do my eyebrows, I always have to touch them up some way, somehow, because I want, like I said, I want them to look very, very similar. So this is me. I thought that they were like too dark at the tips, so I just like was trying to brush them so they look a little bit lighter at the end parts. And I'm using the same exact concealer that I was using earlier on my eyelids. I usually don't do that. I usually use my P. Louise eyeshadow base, but I didn't feel like looking for it. And this is easier to use just because it's right in front of me. But this is the same exact concealer that I was using underneath my eyebrows. And right now you just see me blending that out. And I'm going to do the same exact thing to the other side. So, like I said, what you do to one side, you have to do it to the other side. And I'm using a brush right now to just blend it out. But I'm going to go back in with my beauty blender because I want it to look... You see how the edge part, it looks like... It doesn't look as blended. So when you're doing your eyeshadow, you want to make sure that you're blending those parts out, because once you go to start adding your eyeshadow, it's gonna stick wherever you put it. So I wanted to make sure that I was blending. Oh, this is me using my milk primer on my face. I don't know why I did that after blending out my concealer. I always mix my steps up for some reason, but I always make sure I get it done. But anyway, so using my beauty blender to blend out my concealer on my eyelid, and I'm just making sure that I'm blending out any parts that look harsh or that look very defined. And so this is the palette that I'm going to be using. It's the Blend Bunnies Cosmetics. I'm using 2 shades. I'm going to be using 2 shades for this look, and it's going to be Mama Bear, which is the lighter brown, and then I'm going to be using Nevermore, which is the black shade. So right now I'm taking a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm packing on the shade Mama Bear onto my eyelid, and I like to pack it on before I start like blending it out, because I want to make sure that I can see which part needs to be blended, if that makes sense. So when adding it, I want to make sure that it's actually on there, because I feel like for me, I'm so heavy-handed, so when I do go to put my eyeshadow on, and once I start blending it out, it's gone, if that makes sense. Like when I'm blending, I blend too much, and so it doesn't really look like, you can't really see the color on there. So that's why I'm packing it on now instead of blending it right now. And right here you see me blending it. So I use a different brush, and I also want to give you guys a tip. Wherever you are holding your brush, that determines the control that you have. So if you're holding your brush at the tip part, like towards the end, it's going to loosen your grip on it, and you won't have like too much control on the brush. But if you hold it further up, that helps you control the brush more. So just a little tip for you guys. But right now I am blending it out, and I go back again to make sure that I didn't blend it out too much. So I just start packing some more of it on. I just want to make sure you guys can see the brown on my eyelid. So that's what I'm doing right now. Still continuing to do that. I add as much as I want to. I like for my eyeshadows to have some depth to them. And then I take a little bit, a very small amount of my black eyeshadow, and I just start adding that in. I take a little bit because black goes a very, very long way, and it's hard to blend it out once you put it somewhere. So yeah, black it's a nice eyeshadow to use, but it can be very, very dangerous. I feel like when you're using black, it's really, really good when you're trying to add depth to your eyeshadow looks, but you have to use it with caution. So I'm using a little bit of the black eyeshadow, and I'm just adding very, very slowly, and just making sure that I'm placing it where I want to place it, because like I said before, it's hard to blend black out. So this is just me doing that, and I'm tapping it in to make sure I'm not putting it like too far up, and not, I just don't want to make it messy. I want it to be placed right exactly where I want it, which is like a little bit above my lid, or like at the top part of my lid, if that makes sense. You can see where I've placed it. And I'm just going in between, blending it out, and making sure that it's blending in with the brown, because you don't want it to look like you just stamped it on there, if that makes sense. You also want to go back and forth between blending it. So that's what I'm doing right here. And I also took another fluffy brush, the same fluffy brush that I had before, and I'm just packing that black on, because I realized that at first it's going to take me a while to add the black on there. So this is me just deepening the black on my eyelid, and it's starting to come out pretty good. Just adding it some more. I really feel like I could have added some more to it, but I didn't want it to be too dark, but I also didn't want it to be too light either, because this is a smoky eye look. So yeah, see, it starts to look a little bit better here, because I'm like I said, I go back and forth between blending it out and just making sure that it looks, I don't stop until it looks the way I want it to look. So if that means you have to add more brown to it, add more brown to it. If you have to add more black to it, add more black to it. If you have to fluff it out some more at the top part, like blend it out some more, just do that. Like, do whatever makes you comfortable until it turns out the way that you want it to look. And that's what I'm doing here. And I'm just continuously, going back and forth with myself. When I start posting more makeup videos, you guys are going to see, like, it takes me a while to make sure that it looks the way that I want it to look. And right here, I'm just looking at it to see, like, where do I need to add more and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it looks good. Like, at first I was kind of nervous about it because I'm like, it doesn't really look the way that I want it to. I think right here I added a little bit too much of the brown, and I should have kept it the way it was and just added more black to like deepen the outer corner of my eye. Instead of adding more brown, I should have added more black, but there's always next time. But yeah, I'm still blending, still adding. Okay, so right here, still adding some finishing touches, but I think I'm pretty much done. And I went ahead and did the same exact thing to the other eye. Just to save time, I didn't show that part. Y'all, I don't know where the clip is of me, like, adding my concealer and stuff, like highlighting underneath my eyes, but I lost it. I don't know where it is, but I did that off camera, or I think I did it on camera and just thought that I recorded it, but I didn't. So yeah, concealer underneath my eyes. I did that part already, and I showed you guys my bronzer palette, and I used, of course, the Juvia Place bronze palette. This is in the shade Dark, and that's what I'm doing right now, filling it in. But for my concealer, I tried to do the bright under eye thing, you guys. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments on how it looks, because I feel like it's a little bit too bright. But then once I finish all of my makeup, it looks good. So I'm like, I don't know. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. But for my highlight, I used the Born This Way first, and I blended that out. And then I went in with another concealer I used e.l.f. in the shade, I don't know what shade this is, but it's lighter than my normal concealer that I use. So yeah, so you guys are going to see me going back and forth with my beauty blender, because once I added my bronzer all over my face, I just like to make sure everything is seamless and looks blended out. So I make sure that I blend. I do the placement, like I place it where I want it, and then I go back with my beauty blender and make sure that I blend it out. Right now I'm using my a fluffy brush to put my my bronzer where I want it. I don't really contour all the time, just because I don't want it to look as harsh. So I don't really contour like that. But yeah, this is me doing, I don't know what kind of dance. I was really excited about the way my look was turning out. I think it's cute so far. Okay, so y'all, this is the one size, what's it called? Sorry, that's the one size setting powder. I got it in the shade Deep Dark, and I also got it in the shade Ultra Pink. But this is me using the shade Ultra Pink first, just to brighten underneath my eyes. And then, y'all, I got so nervous using it because I'm like, in the camera, I'm looking and I'm like, this is too bright. So I look kind of nervous, but that's because I was. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, Oh my goodness, this is too bright. So I went back in with deep dark over it again to make sure it was darker. I don't know, you guys, like in the comments, like I said, let me know what you guys think about how it's going so far. I think it looks good now that I'm looking back at it, but in the process of doing it, I'm like, this is way too bright for me. Like, I'm not used to how bright this is, but it turned out pretty good, I guess. You see how it, like, on the corners, how it looks too bright. And sorry if I'm using the word like a lot. I'm just, see, even then I'm trying to make it look darker, kind of like not as bright. And I also think that I'm just critiquing myself. But I shouldn't have highlighted my chin. I probably should have left that, or not put as much, you know. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think. And I'm gonna work on like a base routine. Okay, and then right here I am using my one size, I think it's the 3D blush trio, and it's called the Cheek Clapper, but the shade that I got is called Rich B. And the first shade that I'm using is the cream one, so it's Beyond Fab. And then I'm gonna use the powder version of it, which is the Blush Deposit. And then I'm gonna use the highlight. I think that this palette is really, really pretty, but I think the next one that I'm gonna get is gonna be like the brighter pink one, just to see how it looks. I was gonna get both of them, but I wanted to try this one first just to see if I would like it. And I really, really like it, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy the other one. But this is just me adding that to my face. Instead of doing like my regular blush routine, I'm gonna use these three on my face. So yeah, this is me. Or I think I did it the other way. I think I added the powder first. Or no, I just added more of the cream here. Sorry if I just screamed. And then, of course, I go back with my beauty blender and blend it out. Just to make sure, like I said, everything is seamless on my face. I need to work on my placement with things, which is why I want to do a base routine. Just because I feel as though I could have did better with my placement, like where I put my products. Because once you put something somewhere and start adding more and more product, that's where it's going to be. So unless you like go back over your whole face with foundation and stuff, or you just wipe your whole face off, and who's doing that? Just like wasting product. But this is me blending out, making sure that everything looks good. Okay, and right here I am adding the highlight part. The highlight is so pretty on this palette, so I know that the pink version of it is going to be really, really pretty. So I'm definitely going to get that one, and I'm curious to see how it would look on my skin tone, because I've seen like videos on TikTok of other people using it, and I'm like, oh, this is really cute. But I'm gonna try the brown shades first, just because I like more of a neutral, I guess you would say, type of look, instead of it being like super duper, you know, like bright pink type of thing. But I also want to switch it up. So, and then after that, you guys, I was pretty much done with my makeup. All I had left to do was to wipe any excess off of my lips, and I did that off camera. Here I'm adding my Fenty gloss, and I'm also going to add my my NYX lip gloss on, and that's it. I am done with my makeup, and I did my lashes and stuff off of camera because it's hard for me. It's not hard for me to do it on camera, but just to save time, I did it off camera. And then I go ahead and spray my setting spray. I usually set my face twice, but I only did it one time. This time just for the sake of the video. But I used my setting spray. It's called, I forget which brand it is, but the Charlotte Tilbury one. The one that y'all rave about and talk about on TikTok. And I also have the one size setting spray as well. That's usually my go-to combo when I'm setting my face. And my makeup lasts pretty much all day after that. But yeah, this is pretty much the final look, you guys. Fixing my lashes. I think it looks good. I just feel like my placement and stuff with some things were kind of off, but we're going to be working on my base routine next, so we're going to be getting into that. But yeah, this is the final look, you guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to say the same thing in the next clip, so yeah. Okay, this is just me showing you guys how it looks. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think, seriously. Guys, so this is the final product, or what? This is the final look. Yeah, so I was kind of nervous throughout the video, just because I was trying new techniques and stuff like that and new products, but I think it turned out pretty well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and let me know what you guys want to see next, as far as my makeup content goes. And yeah, this is the final look. So, you know, comment down below, let me know what you guys think. But thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.